Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to us.fm/sharmvlog and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. So before I get started, I just want to let you know, I'm just looking in the viewfinder, I've set up a new setting on this camera and it's called Pop. And I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. I feel like basically it's meant to make all the colours pop. I can see my unicorns popping back there and I can see my lipstick is popping, but everything else is kind of looking a bit crazy. So I apologise, I might have to change the settings in my actual video editing software and wash it out a bit. But anyway, let's go with it. Just go with it. Question number 1 from Adam Darlington. Do you want some free coins? Some free money? Always want some free money. I don't know what you're talking about. What's free coins for what? What job would you be terrible at? Well, we can safely say that I would be terrible for the job that Ian does, which is working in kind of a call centre environment, doing customer care. Now, I love customer care. I loved that whole aspect of retail when I did it. I really love being one-to-one with the customer face-to-face and being able to help them and understand what it is that they want, and and not lie to the customers and sort of say if there isn't something here that can help them, where else can they go to get it. But I had an interview for where Ian works a long time ago now, years ago, and it's all telephone based customer service, and I know I'm not alone, but I'm one of those people that just is so bad on the phone. I'm so awkward, and I find it really hard to, when you can't see into someone's eyes and you can't read their facial expressions, I just feel it's so much harder to help them. And part of the interview was they gave us a piece of paper and it had a scenario on it that we had to address with the customer. So I think mine was something along the lines of a lady needed a vehicle for her daughter and it needed to be wheelchair accessible, and she had a complaint about the vehicle that she had been given by us because it wasn't entirely suitable for the wheelchair. And I remember just completely losing my chain of thought when I was on the phone to this pretend customer during the interview, and I just ended up reading on this, they gave us an information sheet with loads of information that we may need to know during the interview, and there was this law on it, and I just saw this law and just started, the lady said to me, I'm really not happy about this vehicle and the wheelchair, it doesn't fit, it's not working for us. And I went, okay, I'm really sorry about that. And I just saw this law quote and I just started reading it. I just went, in 1975 we passed a law of, and as I was reading it in my head, when you hear that other voice that goes, what are you doing? Stop, what are you doing? And I just read this whole law to this woman and I obviously didn't get the job. So we can safely say I'd be terrible at telephone customer services. If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be and why? And that's from Lobby Lou 1990. Oh, Luby Lou. Luby Lou. There's so many things right now I think all of us kind of want to change about our lives, especially with everything. I guess ultimately right now though, I'd really like to just be able to go out and do more stuff. We're in lockdown again, so if I could change one thing, it would be to be able to go out and have a curry with my dad and Ian like we used to do every Friday evening at the end of the week. It was such a fun thing to do, and I'm kind of like a Sims character. I always see stats, the little green tiki bar above my head when I'm doing something, and I don't need to do a lot of social stuff to have my social topped off, the little green bar. And once a week just getting out and doing that curry, going out for a lovely curry and catching up and just having a really nice relaxed evening out of the house, that was enough for my little Sims character green thing to just be completely sated, and I really miss doing that. So I think if I could change one thing, it would be I'd love to be able to go out for a curry again. I miss it a lot. How is your week so far? From Adam Darlington. Adam Darlington asks me a lot of questions and he's got a verified tick, and I'm curious as to, I'm sure he's on IMDb. I looked him up once. Anyway, how is your week so far? It's great, thank you. It's been really productive. I'm pretty stoked because I was meant to record this vlog and this Q&A last week, but I've somehow miraculously been using a 32GB micro SD card to record my stuff on, and recently it gives out after like a couple of minutes, and I noticed it because I was singing songs, you know, and songs aren't that long, and I was noticing that I'd run out of space on the card, and I was like, what is going on? So I ordered a 200GB micro SD card. It's crazy, technology is crazy right now. Look how small it is. This is my 32GB one, and it comes in this little adapter thing, and look, it's like the size of my eye. It's tiny. And this is the 32GB one, so I'm using the 200GB one today, and it came, when did it come? Day before yesterday, Saturday. So I was able to finally sit down and get these done today, so I'm really pleased. What hurts more, one-sided love or being cheated on by the person you love? Oh, that's such a tough one. Well, my first love was when I was about 14 years old, and I feel like both of those things were going on. He cheated on me and I loved him more than he loved me, and that was just how our relationship was really, and it was sad because I just gave my entire heart to him, and it was a very emotional time in my life. And it took me, I remember making the decision because he used to keep inviting me out and stuff, and so I'd be like, oh my god, maybe we're gonna get back together again. And I used to go every time like this little puppy dog. And then I remember making the conscious decision that I had to stop that. And it was so hard. It's like one of the hardest decisions a love-struck teenager can make. And it took me 1.5 years of not seeing him to finally not love him anymore. So because I've experienced both of those things, they both hurt just as much as the other one. It's very painful. What's your current mood? From Virgil. Productive. Is that a mood? Is productive a mood? Or is that more of a adjective / verb? My current mood is confused. How do you like it working from home? I know it can be very comfy, but how do you keep your work and free time separate? Do you ever miss going out to work? Not the work itself, but just getting out of the house. And do you feel like you're more responsible for all the household chores? So working from home, and I know a lot of people are doing it right now, and it's not as taboo as it used to be. It's a really common thing now. But working from home, there is such a fine line between switching off. This, where I'm sat, is my workstation and my PlayStation and just kind of my everything. So it's really difficult to switch off, but I'm okay with that now, and I've been okay with that for years. I've been working from home now for maybe 6 years, and so I'm okay with that. And there are times when, for example, I have a Discord server where my patrons are, and I sometimes have questions and things like that in DMs that are like at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm sort of like, oh, I'm gaming, and I don't want to seem like I'm ignoring them, but I also need to make sure that there is a divide between workday and evenings. And it is definitely very comfortable working from home, but you have to motivate yourself. It is so important, and self-motivation is one of the most important things to working from home, and planning everything. If you don't plan, I can't imagine what it's like to not have a planner. So this is my planner. I know I always get my planner involved, don't I? But this is my planner for this year. This is my journal for 2021. And I get one of these every year, and I've got them in my little cupboard. Oh, they're all lined up in my cupboard over there, year to year, back to back. And I have a routine that I do the same every week, but because as a creative person, you have to have days where you don't put anything in so that you have the freedom to be able to create sporadically. Sporadically? What's the word when you do something off the cuff? Anyway. So you have to find what works for you, and that works for me, having sort of 3 set things every single week that I know I need to get done, which is usually for my Patreon rewards at the end of each month, and then a couple of days just left blank, and then you have the freedom to be able to create. And I do miss going out to work sometimes a lot. Like when I worked in retail, I loved retail, and I love what I do now, but there are still aspects that I wish I could kind of incorporate in. And I think just before everything happened with what's going on right now, with the virus, I was getting to a point where with my job I was able to take it outside onto the stage, and I was doing open mic nights, and it was great because I was getting my confidence up, my self-esteem, and feeling just like I was getting out there and meeting more people, and with my job. So it's a shame that that kind of had to come to an end, but I know that I've got that route that I can take if I want to. And household chores, Ian's always been fantastic with household chores. We've always been like 50-50. There's never been a side of us that's, oh, I do more than you, or you do more than me. And he has got set roles, because if I do them I will explode. Like the hoovering, I get so angry with the hoover. Like, it's one of those things where it gets stuck on stuff and it just makes me so angry. And the dustbins, I won't put the dustbins out, he puts the dustbins out, because that's a man's job. But then other things I will do and he doesn't, and vice versa. So it's pretty even Stevens when it comes to household chores. But if there's one bit of advice I could give you, it would be to get a planner if you're thinking about working from home and you don't have a boss. It's not like you're working from home because of the current situation. Like, Ian's been working from home for a year now, and it did take him a long time to be like, oh my god, I'm at my computer all day long, and then I shut my computer down and I open up the one just there and play Overwatch. It's a really weird thing, and you have to have a strong mental base if you're going to be working from home. And you will, at first you will be like, oh my god, I don't know how to switch off, but you just keep doing it and you will start to build up that that difference, that what's the word, divide between work and home, even though you're home when you're working. Anyway, that is it for this Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this fun, then head on over to us.fm/sharmvlog, and I will do my best to answer your question. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you soon.